Hey, good evening and welcome to our DJNTV training week here. This is another one of our big weeks where we're going to have a lot of folks sharing a lot of knowledge and such. Now, this is Big Daddy's night, and Sean and I were going to talk a little bit, and we were going to have Shannon jump in and do her thing. But Big Daddy's being a little shy. Shannon, did we make him feel bad?
I think we scared him off a little.
Scared him off a little bit.
A little bit. He was
um,
terrified I was going to call him Big Mama again.
Yeah, there was that. I did notice there was a little fear in his eye from that because he is a very sensitive young man.
You know it.
Um, so we're gonna, Sean, if you want to just keep the mic, the camera off and such, and we'll between the sessions here, we'll get get everything set up and such because we have our little bit of a break. But Shannon, Big Daddy was going to be doing his intro and such of you, and I'm not there, and I'm not going to call you Sharon. So there's that. I mean,
Bonus points
I
for
hear
you.
that's a positive and such. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of turn things over to you and have you get started, and then we'll hopefully have Big Daddy back on the other side. So I'm going to be switching over to a gallery view, so then or the speaker view, so you will have the floor.
Oh, Lordy, front and center.
Yay.
Well, I'm excited to be here with all of you gentlemen and ladies tonight. When Big Daddy asked me to come on and share a little bit of my expertise, giving you guys some tips and some actionable education. For those of you who I haven't had a chance to connect with, my name is Shannon Tarrant, and I have spoken at the Marquee Conference, a few other local, DJ education things. I'm based here in Central Florida. I own a local resource called the Wedding Venue Map and another company called Venue Help Desk. So the majority of my time is spent with venues, specifically in the space of really teaching them how to grow their venue. And so when Big Daddy asked me to come on, I was like, where you need to come in is about sharing expertise and how you can grow those relationships to grow your business. So, at the end of the day, when you are starting to build your business, your DJ, AV, all the things you're doing, the most important piece is relationships and the relationships you can build. Because when you're getting started, you tend to have a little bit more time and a little bit less money. And one of the recommendations that we make to the venues when I'm training and teaching venues how to choose the vendors to be on their preferred list is really to look for some very specific criteria. So I want to give you some of those tips as to how we educate venues and planners on what to look for when it comes to partnerships and relationships. So one of the things we ask for venues, one of the most basic is a business license and liability insurance. I know this seems simple, but if you're a new DJ starting out or a newer company, you might not have taken the time to get liability insurance yet. This is super duper key. No vendor really wants, no venue, no planner. Nobody really wants to refer people that haven't taken those basic steps to check the boxes to get that insurance. So if you haven't done that yet, now's the time to do it. Now, for those of you who are a little more established, you have insurance, you understand that as a venue, they're most likely going to ask you for a document called listing them as an additionally insured. That means that your insurance certificate lists them, as kind of a hold harmless down at the bottom of your certificate. So here's a little secret tip for you can easily take action on today. When you book a gig at any venue and you have that insurance certificate in hand, right? Like you should just have a standard copy of it on your computer, on your desktop, in a folder, in a file. You can get it quickly. As soon as you book the gig, I want you to send an email to reach out to the venue, ask the client for their venue contact's email address and name, have a copy paste stock email. You can use ChatGPT to write these things now that says, hey, I'm so excited to work on Mike and Susie's wedding, the big corporate conference, whatever it is on this date. They've contracted with us to do their DJ, MC, AV, whatever it is. I just wanted to share, here's a copy of our insurance certificate. If you need to be listed as an additionally insured, please let me know. I'm talking about do this months in advance. If you already have that certificate on file and you whip that email off, so sexy. The venues hate chasing for insurance. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. So I want you to remember that that is such an easy way to differentiate yourself to build that relationship. Building relationships is about making it easy for the other person, right? It's the give and take to build those referrals because you want to be the person that takes the stress off of them and makes their life easier. So first, license and insurance, the bare bones basic minimum. The second thing you can do to build great referrals when it comes to venues is making sure that you are thankful and grateful. So if you do have venues that are referring you now, please make sure that after each event or when you book a client at that venue, take the time to send the 2-second email, text message, anything, just saying thank you so much. Think about throughout the year. The holidays are such a common time. Everybody in December starts getting really grateful and sending things out. I had a vendor once as the venue sent me a amazing, like she sent me like an apple pie, a pumpkin pie, the week of Thanksgiving, delivered it to me and said, "We're so thankful for doing business with you this year." So before everyone else did their thank yous in December, she kind of beat them all to the punch and set herself apart. You could do Christmas in July and do a thank you then. You can figure out the contact person's birthday, but make sure that it's not just a once a year thank you overall. You've got to be staying top of mind with people who refer you. So even if, let's say you just get a referral for a brand new venue that you've never worked at before, you didn't get a referral, you got a booking, you booked the client. So I want you to now reach out to them and say, hey, we're so excited to be working with, this couple or this client at the event at your venue. Like I said, here's the copy of the insurance certificate. I'd love to schedule a time to come out and see the space in advance to make sure I get all my questions answered and make sure I learn all the rules, of your venue. Guys, it seems so simple, but nobody really does that. Nobody really takes the time to poke the venue, in advance saying, I'm excited to work there. I'm excited to get booked there. Can I come see the space now and learn all of your rules? The verbiage I'm using is very specific, right? You want to be able to learn what are their rules, regulations, parking, so that on event day, everything runs smooth, seamless, and flawless. See, because I, as a venue, don't want to take the time to just meet you when you're not coming to work here because I know you're just trying to get on my list. But the way you get on that preferred vendor list on venues and planners is to be the best and do the things that other people aren't doing. So first, make sure you're licensed and insured, make it easy, solve their problem, send it to them. Second, be grateful, be thankful, about everything. Third, hot topic, but how about you just don't be a jerk on event day? I know that you guys have a way that you like to do things and you've got a flow and maybe you've met with the client and you've planned it out and the client's giving you tips. But you know what happens? Sometimes the proverbial SHIT hits the fan on event day and we all have to be flexible. You want to know the category that's usually the least flexible? The DJ. The second category, the photographer. Let me roll my eyes a little further. Just remember on event day that we're a team. We recently had a family member get married. There was no planner. I'm there like seeing that everything looks like it's falling apart. I stepped in to try to help. The caterer thought dinner was at 7. The DJ had everything timed, so the buffets opened at 6:30. It was so freaking messy. So I just want you to remember that like on the team, on the day, you have to work together. So I went to the DJ and was like, look, for the dances, you have to play all the dances. Like, I know the dances are supposed to be after dinner, move them up. The food's not even here yet. Catering's not even like set up. There's no food in the buffet. Like, we had to work together. And he started to push me back. Guess who's never going to refer that DJ? Me. Me who talks to 500 venues in Central Florida. Me who's talking to planners all the time, right? He didn't know who I was. To him, I was just some annoying family member stepping in to save the day. But at the end of the day, on event day, I just want you, and if you're somebody who has an entire team of people, this is like the most important thing you can train them on. Because maybe you as an owner and your experience, you do act that way. But maybe the guys come out, listen, you guys are entertainers. I expect you to have a little bit of that, like, you're solid on what you do. You've got big personalities. Just remember on event day, we're meant to be a solid team, right? We've got to work together. So remembering to be flexible, work together as a team. When you look at the value of referrals coming into your business, it's so freaking huge, right? Referrals can save you so much money on marketing, advertising. Doesn't mean you don't still have to have a great website. Doesn't mean you still don't have to be active on social media. Doesn't mean you don't still have to gather reviews. See, because my job as the referrer is to send them your information. Then they're going to go scope you out on their own. So you have to have done the marketing work on your side to make sure you look polished, professional, and be worthy of my referral. If this is something, when Big Daddy was like, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, this is what I want to talk about. Like, because I know that it's such an amazing opportunity for you to grow your business this year, for you to take the time. It's not about having 100 referral sources. It's about just knowing that if you took the time once a month to build one new banging referral relationship, it could be huge for your business this year. Because at the end of the year, you've got 12 new referral funnels coming in, 12 new places, spaces, people that could be growing and referring your business. So all of this to be said that, like, if you don't have a referral marketing campaign, if you don't sit down and of all the things that you've got planned, social media and email marketing and website and blogging and whatever, make sure referrals are top of mind. You know, I spoke about this at the Marquee conference, and one of such a great conference to be able to go and learn from some unique educators like me who in the past have only spoken there in the DJ space, that you guys have the power of music and most of you don't use it to your advantage. The amount of time it would take me to make a playlist to create a vibe with 10 to 15 songs. It's so easy for you. You guys know it in the back of your head. You know exactly what songs you would put on there. If I'm like, I need really fast songs that make me want to run on the treadmill at the gym of 90s music that like brings me back to like high school. I'm going to live my best life. Yes, I was in high school in the 90s. So like you could make that list. So think about also using the opportunity of staying top of mind with some of these referral partners with the power of the music of what you do best. Build some fun playlists on Spotify. Share those playlists out once a month, once a quarter. Make me a holiday playlist, all kinds of fun stuff like that. But just ways to stay top of mind so people don't forget about you. I hope you got some good tips, some good ideas.
Shannon, just 1 second, if you would, please.
Yeah.
When does a person, when you're reaching out and networking and such, when do you cross the line and become too obnoxious, or you're there too often? I mean, there is a possibility where you're just in someone's face too often. Where is that line?
I think the most important thing is to remember that it's about building a relationship and giving. It's not so much about being like, can I be on your list? Can I be on your list? Can I be on your list? Right? You just need to take the time it's not about often, really. It's about like making sure, read the room first and foremost. That's one of the easiest things to do, is to read the room. So just making sure that you're not being obnoxious and think through their lens, like, how much do you really want to hear from somebody? It's just staying top of mind. But if you're sending me a thank you email, I'm never going to get mad at you for saying thank you. Like, thank you for the referral. If I send you 3 thank yous last week, 3 referrals last week, you can say thank you 3 times and I'm happy to get those.
Excellent. Sean, you with us?
I'm here.
Yay!
You made it. No more chicken shit and hiding in the background.
Oh, well, what a way to end my St. Patrick's Day. Shannon, you are, I can't thank you enough. You are amazing. Everything you said was right on the money. My friends out there, you know how to get a hold of her.
Yeah, go follow me on the gram. I'm working on Instagram this year, the Shannon Experience. I post the most inappropriate, behind the scenes disasters of all the stupid things I do on the regular. So head on over and check it out.
Well, my friends, Shannon, thank you. Love you a lot. Give my best to John, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
I will. Happy St. Patty's. Anybody who's not wearing green today, give them a pinch.
Hold on, I just pinched myself.
Both of you pinch yourself. Have a great night, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Sean, take it away. Are you what? You got your audio on there, Sean?
Sean, you got your audio on?
Yeah. Turn your mic on. Yeah, his mic is on. Huh? We don't have audio. I'm not sure what.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, this is part of doing live broadcasting. Is that it isn't a perfect thing. Not some nights are good, some nights we have. So, Chris, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited. We got a lot of great content. Shannon just kicked things off with a networking.
Yeah, I know. Now I got to follow that?
God. Exactly. I mean, I'm glad I'm not following it. She did a great job, and people were like, "There's nuggets being dropped already on the thing." So we're gonna figure out Sean's microphone thing here in just a bit here. Yeah, we're not hearing anything, and I'm seeing
nothing. I don't know why.
Yeah, we were hearing him during our break there. That's just so odd indeed. So, Sean, I wonder if we're gonna have to reconnect and try that again, because it looks like he can hear us. So
yeah, but we can't hear him.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to probably try to reconnect, and then we'll bring him in towards the end.
And that's a third of the fun of this thing is hearing Sean.
Well, exactly. So what we'll do is we'll probably we're gonna start you a couple minutes early, Chris, and then we'll end, and then hopefully we'll have Big Daddy working. Say something.
Hold on.
There we go.
Oh, wait.
Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, we got you.
There we go.
There you go.
Sean!
Hey!
All right. Do the intro, Big Daddy, and let's get her going.
Hello, everybody. My next guest, one of the best. We become friends for a very long time. You all know who this gentleman is. And tonight we're going to talk, we're just going to educate you a little bit about where he's going, what he's doing, and everything else. My friends, would you please welcome Mr. Chris D'Amico?
Oh, thank you, Sean. How are you? Thanks for having me, guys. I'm very well, thanks.
A pleasure.
So tonight I'm going to talk to you. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about some things that we don't think about because we're so busy being entrepreneurs and doing the next thing and trying to move on and trying to keep the train moving forward. But is what happens when the bus falls apart, when the wheels on the bus fall apart, and how you keep going. For those of you out there who might not know my story, 10 years ago, this coming June, I had lost my son in a boating accident on Lake Apacon. And that hit took a toll on my business, on me personally, on how I did my business, if I wanted to continue to do my business. It was a major tragedy for me and my family. And, I didn't miss a wedding and I didn't miss an event. In fact, I made a lot of changes in my presentation and in how I did my business in order to keep moving forward. And, things that I needed to do, it allowed me to take a step back. And usually what I like to teach people is the 3 R's, the reset, refocus, and relaunch. And you can do that no matter where you are. Sometimes if you feel as though you're stuck in your business, you're not seeing anything moving forward, it doesn't take a tragedy. Sometimes it just takes life in general. Sometimes it's even burnout. Wondering why you're not moving forward, why you're stuck in the same place, why you're not doing the things, that you feel as though you're not where you should be. And sometimes what you have to do is you have to stop, reset, do a hard audit, see where you're at, refocus, figure out something different, and relaunch. The good news is you can do that as many times as it takes to get you where you need to be. And a lot of times when it comes to business and things that you might want to be doing or accomplishing, it's not on your timetable. It's when it's supposed to happen. And believe it or not, I learned that lesson in the last 2 years. I've been playing in and out of bands since I'm 16 years old. I'm 136 now. And what happens is I am probably in the most successful band, one of the most successful bands that I've ever been in, here at 54 years old, and not at 24 when I wanted it to happen. The key is to A, never give up. B, keep moving forward. And taking everything that you've learned. See, that's one of the biggest things too, is taking things, you keep doing, what did they say? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Basically, every time you fail, you don't fail. You either succeed or you learn. And there's fuel in failure. And what happens is you fail as many times as you want. You reset, you relaunch, you refocus, you relaunch, and you try again. But now you're coming at it from a position of education. You're not starting from scratch. And this new band that I created, it ended up being right place at the right time. Same thing can happen with DJs. You might want to go from being a club DJ to a wedding DJ. And every time you've done it, you've never seemed to get off the launching pad. It's building relationships like Shannon was talking about before me. It's learning from people who do it all the time. It's doing the little things that let you reset, relaunch, refocus. You can do it as many times as it takes. There were a lot of setbacks that I had in the grief of losing my son. There were a lot of times I didn't think I really wanted to go on and do this anymore, and every time that I've, like I said, the 3 R's, reset, refocused, relaunched, I moved one step forward. I didn't think I'd survive 10 minutes, and here I am almost 10 years later. I'd like to say a little bit more successful than I was where I was 10 years ago. You can survive. Well, listen, if you're still in the business right now, you've survived 2 recessions, a pandemic. I've survived the death of my son, the death of my mother, the death of my sister. It's about staying focused and never quitting, because I could have quit 150,000 times. I've had more than enough excuses, and I think enough people would have said it's okay and would have allowed me to. But as long as you don't quit, you'll never lose. The biggest thing I always say is if you find yourself in a hole, the first thing you should do is stop digging. Okay? And that's where it all starts from. And that's how you start to climb, and you find your team and you find your tribe. I found people like Sean, Mike Walter, Gerry, Rachel Lynch, that have all been very helpful to me. And I like to think that I've helped them along the way too. But because the tribe sticks together, we all climb together and we succeed together. So, like Shannon was saying about relationships, I've made a lot of huge relationships over this last 10 years since I've lost my son, both professionally and personally, that have pushed me forward, both personally and professionally. But the biggest thing that I could teach in this little short 20-minute excerpt that I have is reset, refocus, and relaunch as much as it takes. Don't quit, because you'll never win if you quit.
Very nice. Very nice there, Chris. I'm going to bring Sean back in here. Sean, you can unmute with that, if you would, please.
Done?
There we are.
Okay. There we are. Chris, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
With everything that you've had go on, now that this band, the wedding stuff, everything you do with the weddings, band, DJ combination,
right,
hybrid, if you will, hybrid. The success of your yacht rock band, Suit and Mai Tai, 5 years from now, you want to be doing more Suit and Mai Tai Be honest. You can.
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm having more fun than I've had in years. And, as you get older, it's about, hey, look, if you can make a living doing what you love, and opportunities like this, look, everybody starts a band. For every 10 garage bands that start,
Right.
2 will play 1 gig. 1 will play more than 1.
Right.
Okay. And then to be able to catch the lightning in a bottle that we've caught.
Right.
I'm going to milk it for all it's worth because I'm enjoying the ride.
Absolutely. And I see, and we'll go to, if it's okay, Tuesday night of DJX last year, tore that room from limb to limb. Can I publicly announce again, Tuesday night of DJX, check the schedule, Tuesday night in the lobby lounge, 7 to 11, Chris?
7 to 11.
And very special guest DJ, Mr. Nick Spinelli will be there with us this year.
We are 95% locked in. We just got to make one more phone call and make sure that, because Hard Rock is in-house and all the people that got involved. But it's a 95% locked in that Nick is going to be DJing between our sets. And it's just going to be a crazy night in the lobby bar again for the DJX.
And everybody out there watching, you've heard Chris before. Chris and I talk every morning. Gerry Siracusa, myself, Mike Walter, and Jaymie Perez, we talk every single day. Education-wise, we're not only, the family love, everything else, but we're also passing along stuff that if we've learned something from another DJ or something like that I didn't catch or something like that. My friends, learn to share and learn and don't piss the people off.
Gerry Siracusa and I, our businesses technically are about 15 miles away from one another. And we talk to each other almost every day about how to push each other's businesses forward.
Right.
It's not a competition. We're helping each other.
That's what people need to learn. Sort of like what Shannon said before. You know what? We're all in this together. We are. And not every client is your client, if you will.
No.
That makes sense. But you know what? If you can help another person, how good is that going to look to the client that you sent them to somebody that's going to be able to help them better than you or more than you, whatever.
A lot of the best things that I've learned business-wise, pushing the business forward, is by sitting with you, Mike, and Gerry and keeping my mouth shut and ears open. You know what I mean? That's
John, don't say a word. John, don't say a word.
I wasn't going to say anything at all. I was thinking what great advice that was there from Chris. And
honestly,
it is.
Where I first learned it, I was a waiter at a restaurant when I was in my 20s, when I was going to make it, dude, in the rock scene. And the old man who was the owner of the restaurant used to sit with his friends in the morning. And I would pour their coffee, get their breakfast, and I would shut up. And the cavalcade of knowledge that was passed to me without them even knowing they were giving me knowledge, those guys would talk deals. They would talk this and that and the other thing and things they've done and why this happens and this and that and how to create relationships and what to do. And I just sat there and I got more of a lesson about business from people who were making a lot of money in business.
Sure.
Pouring coffee and keeping my mouth shut than I did anyone would do in 4-year college degree.
Babe, we say it all the time, Chris. You got 2 of these, 1 of these. Use these more.
Yes.
Use these more than this. I have a tough time with that, but that's okay.
You know what? You wouldn't be you, and I love you just the way you are.
Uh-oh, we're going to sing now? Nice.
No.
I hear that's coming up at DJX. I thought.
Listen, I have off this week. Okay. I'm taking it all.
There you go. Well, my friends, please, Mr. Chris D'Amico, my brother, I thank you, thank you, thank you. My friends, I hope you're out there taking notes, because the first two, valuable stuff here. So next up, we're going to turn it over to John. We got some commercials. Once again, Chris, love you. Give my best to Laura, Dean, and also one more thing. Marcello Pedalino does a lunch every year. And this year, Mr. D'Amico is being featured as one of the VIPs. Well-deserved, and cannot wait to be there with you to celebrate you on that wonderful day. Once again, my friends, Mr. Chris D'Amico.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Sean.
Pleasure, my brother.
All right, we are back, and this is again the magic of live streaming. Is we've got our switches, we've got our things down, and we just the microphone thing. Big Daddy's microphone decided it was not going to be happy with us, so we're going to see if we can get that back. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, Jaymie's with us. Hey, Jaymie, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Sean's got. He said you've got to talk, and you're gonna dig into a little bit about some of the things that you're doing out there in the world. Oh, are you back, Sean? No, I heard a click.
Take your headphones off.
Yeah, unplug your headphones. Let's go without your headphones.
Well, mime it.
How's that?
There we go.
There
Got
we
audio.
go.
Can you take your headphones off? You can listen through the iPad.
Okay.
Let's just do it that way. I'm going to shut my camera off so you guys are there. Sean, introduce this young lady for us, please.
We all set there, darling?
Yep, we're good to go. You just tell us all about this wonderful woman.
All righty, my friends. We are back. I have an amazing, wonderful woman on this next one. Jaymie Perez, all over, everywhere, everything she's doing, absolutely amazing. And you're going to hear a lot about corporate work and everything else that she's doing. So right now, I give you the one and only Jaymie Perez.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, John. So yeah, they've already prefaced it for me, so I'm going to just kind of jump right into it. I have been doing corporates pretty much around the world for a while now, and I think a lot of people haven't really understood what that entails, especially when they take you for a while. The longest I've done is a 2-week corporate event. And I think people just think I'm doing like parties or mixers at night, and that's not the case. So I want to just talk about what roles I have done in these corporate events, so that if it's something you're interested in doing, you can kind of see what is possibly going to be asked of you, so that you can prepare for it, and obviously, take the role if you know that you're going to be good for it. So obviously, before the show, you have your travel day, depending on how far you're going. So when I went to Greece, the first day was specifically set just to travel. There was no rehearsals or anything like that. It was just travel, because it was a long travel day. So if you go to, I'm from Jersey. So if you go from Jersey to Florida, like, you might land in the morning and immediately land and go right into rehearsals or sound check or something like that. So really just depends on the scope of the job, if you're going to go right into work as soon as you land, like I did a couple of weeks ago in Orlando. Literally landed, met Kristen, our girl Kristen down in Orlando. Her team dropped off a controller for me, and I literally didn't even check into my room yet. So went right into the rehearsals and meeting the team. And then depending on how long the event is going to be how many days of rehearsal there are. So I'm going to keep referring to the Grease job because it was the one that was the longest. It was 2 full weeks. So then you go into your rehearsals, and rehearsals are going to be with everybody. So if day one of the conference has, 4 speakers, all 4 of those speakers are going to come in and they're going to run through their entire presentation. And you have to sit there for that. So even if you're only playing their walk-up song and introducing them, you still have to sit there and wait because you can't leave if they're only presenting for 30, 45, or even 60 minutes. Like you just have a table in the back and you go and you sit and wait. So rehearsal days are kind of like, it's almost like being on a set as an actor. You're just kind of like, action and then cut, action, cut. So like they're just reviewing again and again and again, making sure their timing is correct, making sure, their clicker is correct and the lighting is correct. So there's a lot of people within the rehearsals. And for us DJs, honestly, a lot of the rehearsal days and even show days is sitting around waiting, but you still want to make sure that you're getting paid for your time. So the reason I'm saying these things is, you want to be able to charge accordingly. So then those are all of your rehearsal days, and obviously how many days is just depending on the run of show that they give you. Now, during the show, I want to explain some of the things that I have done. So again, you can kind of see what you might be asked of you if you're asked to do a corporate event. So during the show, I've been asked to do VOG or Voice of God or housekeeping announcements. So depending on what they're looking for, and the show producer or the CEO is going to tell you what they're hoping to get out of you. VOG sometimes is very like, you might not even be on stage. It might just be over the microphone, very diplomatic and a very powerful voice, almost godly. Or sometimes they want you actually on the stage. The light is on you. They want you very animated, welcoming people, greeting them, and really just depends what they're looking for there. I've also had to do offstage interviews with speakers and attendees. So, you're just camera, lights, you might be in front of a step and repeat. You might be in front of really anything that they have available. So that's something you might have to be comfortable with. The other things that I've had to do, probably the scariest, they will do these videos that are on the video walls and, all of the media screens that they have available. And I've had to memorize specific verbiage and hit it on the timing of the video. So you're live, you can't mess up. You have to say the right words, you have to say it with the right inflection, and you have to say it exactly timed. Now, mind you, this is live, so you can't redo it. Other things that I've had to do, things that you would normally expect if you're DJing an expo or a conference, introducing the speakers or the presenters onto their stage, playing their walk-up music. I've had to do witty banter with the CEO, like they're on stage and I'm on mine. Typically you're on a separate DJ stage. Witty banter back and forth, scripted. Don't ever speak if you're not supposed to, because everything is very timed out. And then obviously you'll be mixing music in between the speakers and then in between any breaks. So you just have to always be there, be present, be ready. And then at night, it just depends on, what their program looks like. You might have an awards dinner to DJ. You might have a mixer or a cocktail party or an actual like reception or gala. Like it's always different. So I think that's the majority of the things that I've had to do. Curious to see if there's anybody else who's had any other type of roles. I would love to know more about that. So feel free to reach out to me and tell me that. But again, I really wanted to make sure that you guys understand some of these rules, and you have to be very comfortable doing these things because once again, it's very fast. It's live. There's no redos. There's no rewinds. You got to get it on point. And there's a million things happening at once. So you're mixing live, right? You're talking on the microphone to everybody. The show caller is in your ear, or maybe it's the show producer. Maybe they're talking to somebody else and it has nothing to do with you, or maybe they're talking to you. So you have to always be listening and be able to adjust on the fly while doing a million things at once if they're telling you to switch it in another direction. Now, realistically, they're not going to do that unless there's some type of panic setting, behind the scenes that they're going to tell you to say something else, but you still just always need to be listening. And then, of course, there's always the one attendee who wants to talk to you and know your name and where you're from, and is that really your gear, and are you actually really mixing? So there's a lot going on at once. So you just have to be able to really be flexible, think on your feet, and just be able to stay calm and handle a lot of things at once.
Jaymie, that's a great topic. And before we bring Sean back in, can you talk a little bit more about that? Because you're going to have my wife, when she was a DJ, obviously there was a level of sexism that comes from this. And you're going to have a lot of people who are asking those questions, but let's face it, they're going to come in with a very sexist attitude that, this is complicated stuff, and you're a girl type of thing. And it was, horribly insulting. How have you handled that in a professional manner when you're dealing with professional people that shouldn't say or think or whatever, but they do? And now you have to somehow not let this blow up and become this ugly scene. How do you handle it?
So it's funny because you picked up on that because your wife has experienced it, where obviously this is a male-dominated industry, probably mostly men listening, where they might be like, what does she mean by that? So I think it's very funny that you picked up on it and then you said that, because it's very rare for a dude to walk up to another man and be like, is that really your equipment? Are you actually really playing? Like, those are only things that are ever said to females. So I'm sure my female friends are always like, they're in the background like, yeah, girl, we know. But it really depends on how they say it. I mean, if they come off very condescending, I'm pretty witty. So it would really just depend on how they came across it. Always just try to be diplomatic. I try to, what do you say, kill them with kindness type of thing. Just a quick, would you have asked a man that? And then they're like, what? You're like, nah, I didn't think so. Or even just make a joke. Like, nah, it's not mine. No, I'm faking it. No, it's my first time. Like, and then just kind of let your skill set speak for itself. And then they'll come back and I've gotten people come back and apologize to me when they've said stuff like that. I've had people come over and look over and see that, like, I'm actually, you're actually really doing that. I'm like, when do you think I'm up here faking it?
Precisely, yeah.
Who's got the time for that? I've had people go back and like exchange money because they were obviously making a bet if I was faking it or not. I've been fired because they found out I was a woman, and I've been told, this only happened once. I was told females are not capable of being DJs. So I had to thank God I'm in a multi-op. Yeah. So we had to switch DJs week of. I ended up on a much harder party with a lot more production and a lot bigger of a setup, but it is what it is. You just got to have tough skin, deal with it.
And then I think that's, and Sean's back here for it. But yeah, I think that's probably the most difficult, because at that time I was the only male DJ on staff. We had my wife and we had two other female entertainers at that time. And it was tough. And the thick skin is great, but eventually, even that, you eventually, it's like, why am I always having to pound my head against the wall here with this, what's going on? So kudos for you for keeping your self in the game that way with the positive mental side of it.
Thank you. I try.
Jaymie, outstanding. I have one favor.
Yeah.
I want to hear your voice of God.
I mean, come on. You were talking about making his voice of God announcement there, Jaymie. And it's like,
I don't know. I'll be really honest. The corporates that I've done, once I guess because I'm a boisterous personality, they've never had me do like the ladies and gentlemen, welcome and blah, blah, blah. Like they don't really want me to do that. They want me on the stage with the lights, more of myself, like really welcoming people into the room the way that I would for like a wedding. So I really don't.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's really few and far in between that I've ever had to be very serious and project my voice and be very like slow and everything like that. But really, that is what I do. Just make my voice a little bit deeper, very clear, concise, to the point. But you gotta ask them what they want.
Now, again, outstanding. For those of you out there, Jaymie, let them know how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah,
Instagram, whatever.
You can reach out to me on Instagram. It's my name's right there, Jaymie_Perez, JAYMIE_Perez. You can email me, JaymiePerez.info@gmail.com. And you can also check out my website so you can kind of see a little bit more about what I do. And that's JaymiePerez.com.
Awesome. My friends, outstanding again. Jaymie, thank you so very much. And are you loving what you're doing with all of this, with the corporate stuff? Are you liking the travel? Are you liking the
Yeah, no, I'm
Jaymie Perez
loving
stuff?
it. And I
Because
think my favorite part is that I can do so many different things. It doesn't get monotonous. I'm not always doing corporates and expos. I'm not always doing weddings. I'm not always doing mitzvahs. Maybe I'm the MC. Maybe I'm the DJ. Maybe I'm the event planner on it. Like, it's always something different, and I think that keeps me fresh on my feet and always learning more. I love that.
awesome. Again, thank you so much, Jaymie. Appreciate night one. You rock, my darling.
Love
Have a
you.
great night. Thank you,
Done.
thank you, thank you. My friends,
Yeah, thanks,
Jaymie
Jaymie.
Perez.
All right. All right, we are back once again, working on getting the microphones all set and back again. And Sean, yep, Gerry's got his mic, right? Gerry's
Yep, we're good.
Gerry's good. I'm good. Big Daddy's mic. I think when we switch people, we must lose his microphone, and I don't understand that. So I'm going to try one thing. If I make him co-host, I wonder if that's going to hold his microphone for the next our next segment when we go through. So Gerry, we're gonna get you started, and then at the end of it, we're gonna leave a little bit more time here. So you'll have your kind of that 10-minute time frame here, and then that way Sean at the very end can do a little talking a little bit more about
Sure.
what he's got. So my friend, you've got the floor. Take it away.
Sure, absolutely. Listen, and thank you very much for having me here. I appreciate it. Basically, Sean kind of gave me carte blanche to talk about, and I'm going to be candid. This is something what I'm about to talk about is actually pretty something I'm very passionate about, and that is that I truly believe that the mobile DJ business is a perfect business to have as a career, but also to truly succeed and to achieve financial freedom, you need to be diversified. And I mean diversified within the industry and outside the industry. Okay. So we've all been there. Okay. Too many of us in the DJ world, when it's main season and we're busy, we're living super high on the hog, and buying things and spending things and doing things that maybe we should or shouldn't. And then when it comes to the slow time based on wherever market you're in, we're panicking, wondering how we're going to pay our bills, and scrambling to get things done. So I just wanted to talk about a couple of things that have been super successful for me, and also people that I know in the biz, what you should diversify in, and try to pave the way for the ones coming up. So number one, within the industry, what should you diversify in? First of all, especially for the DJs that kind of focus on weddings like myself, you should focus on jobs that are happening when weddings are not. I'm in the Northeast. Northeast, January, February, March, not a big wedding season. Weather's crappy, snows all over the place, leaves are off the trees, not very pretty for pictures. So one of the things that we diversified in a long time ago that helps us get the bills paid. Number one, installation dinners for ambulance and fire and police. They happen January and February, and it's a super, super Busy time, which is awesome. Okay. Number 2, fundraisers. Fundraisers are a huge thing in January, February, and March. Okay. We actually opened up a casino division of the company that specializes in fundraisers, and it keeps us busy throughout the slow times. And also, not a whole lot of weddings happen in December. Some do, but not a whole lot of weddings happen in December. Focusing on corporates and making yourself stand out in corporates. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Also, AV work. AV work is huge. We have the equipment, we have the ability, and it's during the week work. So while everybody's fighting for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I know a lot of people, including myself, and I'm just at the tip of the iceberg, that are doing a lot of AV work and making a ton of money Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Gaming and corporate team building. That is huge in December and the summer months. Again, I'm talking about Northeast right now. Okay, that's our times in which we are slower, but corporate picnics, corporate holiday parties, this gaming, and diversifying yourself away from just DJing, super, super good and really, really profitable. And then outside of the DJ world, I am a 100% unequivocal believer in real estate. Real estate is something that is a huge benefit if you jump on it at the right time. And what I mean by the right time, as soon as you can. You know, there's a saying, you know, the best time to make a great decision was yesterday, and the second best time is today. Back in the 90s, I bought my office, and most of my real estate buildings, most of the things I do in real estate, I've either occupied in one way, shape, or form, and because it was a multi-unit property, I've had other people basically pay for my mortgage. Okay. And that is, again, a huge asset, because here's the deal. Because of the nature of the business, we can be cash rich in certain times of the year and cash poor certain times of the year. When you're sitting on a ton of money at the busy times of the year, that's the perfect time to take that and spend it on investing in real estate. Okay. There are challenges to it. Okay. The challenges that you need to be focused on is that you may need to come out of your comfort zone. Okay. In both performance and in financial aptitude. Most DJs want to get, let's go back to in the world, right? Most DJs want to get paid their wedding rates all the time. Every wedding vendor does. But every area has an off season. And that off season usually correlates to weather. Some areas have months that are super hot or super cold or prone to storms, like hurricanes and tornadoes, and those are not huge popular wedding seasons. Again, in the Northeast, it's the winter. We're fine spring, summer, and fall. Maybe back into the summer, it may slow down a little bit because everybody's on vacation. So whatever the reason is, there's a reason why people are having their events during that off season. And it's because they're deeply discounted. And the deep discounts offset the downside. So you need to understand that if you're going to jump into the markets and try to get into the off season, you're not going to get paid the same. But it beats sitting your ass home. Okay? Yep. So most DJs love to mix and hate to talk. Gaming and team building takes personality. MCship that a lot of people are going to have to come out of their comfort zone to do. Most DJs may not have adequate AV knowledge. And real estate investment, most DJs don't like to save. You will need a down payment. You will need to save well. You will need you basically, I say all the time, you need a financial lobotomy. Okay, you need to make sure that you are ready to spend money at the right time. A lot of guys, DJs, I'll buy a photo booth. Sure, I'll buy lighting. You may even get a quicker ROI from buying other DJ equipment than you would purchasing real estate. But real estate appreciates a lot. And while your lights are depreciating, anybody who's ever tried to sell their DJ equipment will understand that. When you take into effect the appreciation of real estate, the appreciation of rent, your ROI is super, super multiplied on the back end of real estate. So, in my opinion, while being a mobile DJ is a great career path, the majority of people that choose it as their sole income stream will find their search for financial freedom a challenge. Diversification in product line, marketing events that normally happen during their slow seasons, investing in real estate is a great way to attain financial freedom and aid their retirement. There you go.
Nice. Let's get Sean back in here. Sean, you jumping back for us?
Yeah, he's muted. There you go.
Hello, young man.
Hello, sir.
Great job, my friend. You're the
Thank
best.
you, sir.
Thank you all so very much for Gerry, a couple of questions. With your training now, are you finding that the younger kids are up to work, or are you going to just have are you having trouble with the younger folks?
Okay, so yes, but we filtered the heck out of it. When we do a job posting, which we do every 12 weeks, we're filtering through 200-300 candidates, and we will literally, by the time they go through the whole process, I'll get two.
Jeez.
Of course.
So those two that we have, they're ready to work. The other 298, not so much.
Gerry, you were mentioning, of course, talking about the better investments in real estate type of a thing compared to buying DJ gear and the return on your investments there.
Be right back.
Yep, go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead.
Of course, people, we've got that kind of idea that buying DJ gear was a big thing for us in the 80s and the 90s because we were just going to buy gear. We didn't think about the quality of the investments. Do you find that maybe the younger people today are thinking more of quality investments than we did when we were in their, at that age? Or is it something that everybody in their 20s is making stupid decisions like we did?
Well, I think that there's two things, John, that make it complex for the next generation. Number one, their bills are through the roof.
Yep.
Okay. So, and a lot of them, like me, I lived in my parents' house until I got married.
Yep.
Right. This generation, they're out as soon as they can. So they're taking on financial burdens that we never did. Right. So I actually had one of my staff members who just became an MC going, Gerry, this is an adjustment to me because I have to invest in equipment. And I'm of the mindset that when you're living paycheck to paycheck, the idea of investment is foreign. Right?
Yeah.
So that's this generation. The people that have jumped into their own businesses and doing things, I think that they still skew to making poor decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we all have I had my first credit card in my late teens, early 20s. These kids get them in high school,
Yeah.
right? At 19 to 24% interest. And that's kind of the norm.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So, yes, I think that they're still making bad decisions. I still think that if better decisions are made, I think that they can help themselves significantly.
For sure. Sean, is your mic back on again?
Am I in?
You are good. Yep.
Awesome. Well, my friends, how about a nice big thank you to my boy, Gerry Siracusa.
Yeah, thank you, Gerry.
And he's one of the, when we had talked to Chris before, Jaymie, Chris, myself, and Mike Walter, we talk every single day. We pick up more nuggets from each other than anybody else. And, you know, because we're always listening, we're always watching. And Gerry, they can see how they can get a hold of you. We're all good.
Yep. I'm also always available. Siracusa at goldennote.com. Gerry Siracusa on Facebook, GN Gerry, and GN Gerry Siracusa everywhere else.
Perfect. Well, once again, Gerry, thank you so very much. We'll talk in the morning, my brother.
Yes, sure, brother. Be safe.
All right.
John, be good.
Babies.
Yep. Thank you.
Guys, time for... All righty, my friends. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty. On screen with me right now is, again, the one thing I'm blessed about introducing all these folks is we've known each other for years and years and years. And these people are still influencing, whether it be with sales, market, whatever the case may be. And the gentleman I have next, Mitch Taylor, one of the, an amazing... He's one of my sales gurus. He's my sales guru. That's all I can say. My friends, we're going to go a little bit different tonight. And we're going to perspective, right, Mitch?
Yes, sir.
All righty, my friends. Give a big listen to my dear friend, Mr. Mitch Taylor.
Thank you so much again for the opportunity to speak to you here tonight, John and Big Daddy. It's an honor to be on. And I think I look back on my life as a DJ. John and Sean and I have known each other for decades, been involved. But you get to a certain point in your life and you start realizing that those grains of sand in your hourglass, how far have they fallen? How much time do you have left? When will your last party be? Now, none of us know when that's going to be, truly, but you start to have a different perspective as you get older. Maybe as you have kids. Maybe as you have the kids grow up. So what is your current perspective on life? How did you get to where you are? And I would encourage you to think about this. Realize that where you are, a lot of people try to blame it on different things. Oh, it's the economy. Oh, it's the president. Oh, it's my parents' fault. Oh, it's where I grew up. Stop it. You are a product of your own decisions. Yes, does your upbringing have a place in that? Yes. Now, what you decide to do, where you eat, where you live, who you live with, who you allow and don't allow in your life helps shape your current perspective and where you are. Some of you may or may not know this. I have a very unique perspective on adoption. because I was adopted. My biological mother had me as a teen pregnancy, and I'm thankful she gave me life. And it helped me see that unconditional love she gave me was giving me up. She wasn't abandoning me. So it's all about perspective and how you shift that for yourselves. So I want to speak a little bit now about why perspective is so important. Without perspective, you don't have any way to judge your success in life. If you constantly sit here, as I am today, surrounded by 3 screens and books and money books and, documents and papers, and you should see how many tabs I have open on this damn thing right now. It's insane. Okay? So, if you constantly have your nose to the grindstone, what is that that phrase, all work and no play makes Mitch a dull boy, right? So I believe in work hard, play hard. Firmly believe in that. I just went to Maine to see my father, who has leukemia and needs a heart valve replacement right now. And what was that? Big Daddy, I'm going to ask you to come on if you can for a quick sec. What was that our good friend Andy Ebon said? If you remember, my friend, hopefully you can, about, without your health, you have 99, with your health, you have 99 problems. If you don't have your health, you have one problem.
One problem. Yep.
That's what our good friend Andy Ebon said. And so I think that speaks also to perspective. Without your health, you got nothing. So you need to have that. Without perspective, if you don't have perspective, if you keep your just nose to the grindstone the entire time, you're going to blow through your years. You will literally blow through your years and not be able to enjoy life to the fullest. Your kids will grow up and you'll wonder, where the hell did they go? Literally. Because you were an absent parent. You weren't there at all the times they needed you, because you had to keep your nose to the grindstone. How to have perspective. Let me speak on that a little bit. How to have perspective is to do the opposite of why that perspective is important. You got to take time out. You should schedule your vacations and schedule time off for yourself and make them just as important as a client meeting. Don't let it change. I'm working on my birthday this year, but I made a choice to do it because it was I wouldn't say close, it was someone I knew in the area well, and I made the choice to work that day. And that's okay. That was my choice. But I know that I'm also taking 2.5 weeks earlier in the summer to go on a European trip with my family, all of us together. So you make your choice and give yourself perspective. Another way to have perspective is to be spontaneous. I'm a firm believer that if you wake up in the morning and you don't feel it, taking a personal day is actually okay. It's totally fine. What you can allow is for that to snowball. Mm-hmm. And a personal day becomes a personal week. And then, you know what I mean? It snowballs into, a mediocrity. And next thing you know, you're kicking a can down the road, So if you need time, take time. There's nothing wrong with taking a mental health day. There's nothing wrong with taking time out to get your head right. Be spontaneous. My friend called me up and said, hey, I want to do a boys trip to San Diego to see all the spots where Top Gun was filmed. Can you make this happen? Looked at my calendar, figured it out, made it happen. I planned a trip to St. Louis Cardinals to see them play with Quayne Tull and Chris Johnson for my birthday, literally in about a week and a half. Take time to be spontaneous in your life. Another way to have perspective is to be a kid again. Be a kid again. You grow old because you stop behaving like a kid. You grow old because you stop and I get it, right? We have all these pressures. The SUV, the mortgage, the parents getting old, the kids growing up. You got all these things. But you grow old because you stop behaving like a kid. That's why marriages die, because you stop flirting with each other. That's why you die, because you stop behaving like a kid. So you need to be able to play with life, with your own life, and play in your career, to be able to recreate yourself, to give yourself perspective. Now, what are some of the benefits of perspective? Some of the benefits of perspective is you'll refresh your mind. You won't have that constant grindstone going on in your head and all these tabs open and all these phone calls and tasks you get reminded to do and texts you have to return. And I literally woke up to a text 12:01. I had a bride text me about her floor plan. 7:16 this morning, I had a bride text me about her payment. It's insane. If you don't put boundaries, they'll steal your perspective. So make sure your phone is blocked and locked to be able to not allow people to steal that time away from you. Refresh your mind. Put the phone away at night. I am guilty of this as much as the next person, okay? I'm telling myself this as much as I'm telling you, all right? Revive your spirit. To me, travel is wanderlust. When I travel anywhere, I see different things around me. I hear different conversations. I hear different accents. I see different marketing techniques that other businesses are doing to draw eyeballs. It helps me. It revives me. It revives my spirit as an entrepreneur and as a business person. And renew your body by stepping out of the same old, because you're not in the same area. You renew your body by gaining new perspectives on life. And you'll come back with new ideas for your clients as well. So when I speak about perspective here today, it doesn't matter if you're 1 month in, 1 year in, 10 years in, or more. This lesson is good for you no matter where you are in your journey as a mobile DJ, because we all need to have a little bit of perspective on our life to help us live our lives to our fullest. Thanks, John and Big Daddy.
So much of what you were talking about, the connection between business and family, as far as spontaneous. You mentioned it, kind of a with friends and such, but the importance of that with your spouse and your children, huge. And then to be a kid again with your, and then you went to, they were talking about flirting with your, all of the importance of not having an innie and an outie type of a situation. For those of you who watched,
that's how we got the kids, right?
No. That's an Apple TV
okay
reference. Yeah. So anyway, once you see the show, you'll catch.
John
it.
Loves me.
Yeah. But, so yeah, just so much can go either way, family and business, and really to be a well-rounded person who is gotten to that point of of comfort and relaxed functioning, you've got to do it on both sides.
Yeah.
Amen.
I related so much to what Gerry said too, and I preach what he preaches about real estate as well. It's so important to invest properly.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Mitch, thank you. And, watching everything you're doing now with going, not a different, everything you're doing, all the travel and everything else that you're doing, very inspirational. And acting like a kid, you are talking to the oldest kid in America right now. Thanks to my grandkids.
That was for you.
Mitch, thank you so much for everything. Your stuff is at the bottom of his stuff is at the bottom of the screen. Please reach out to every one of my speakers tonight. They are out. You can learn from everybody. Remember that. You're not above learning. Learning is the key, and perspective, even a bigger key. Mitch, thank you once again, my friend. Have a great rest of your night. Love you. Please give my love to Michelle and everybody else.
Will do. Thank you, Big Daddy.
Thank you, baby.
Sean, all right, we are back, getting ready for our final segment tonight. Big Daddy, you've got some
Mr.
some,
John Young, how are you, my friend?
We're doing well. You've got some really, really good people lined up for tonight's show here that have been sharing a lot of great, applicable life lessons.
Yeah, you know what? And that's education is more than just PA equipment, lights, this, that, the other thing. Right now, I'm admitting Stephanie again.
I got her. I clicked it.
Okay, babe. The thing is, life right now, as we know it, is completely different than it was 2 days ago.
Oh, very much so.
And learning about family and everything else and putting that all into perspective is big key to the education other than just equipment and doing gigs.
Exactly. It's a big part of it.
And thank you all for that. Outstanding. And we got one more guest this evening, the closer.
Yes, we have audio. Woohoo!
Good.
And everything.
Awesome.
So, it gives me great pleasure. From Connecticut, just got back from Vegas. Went to see a wedding out there. We were together in Vegas for the show out there. She did an amazing seminar, and she's rebuilding herself from day one. It gives me my pleasure to introduce Stephanie Rivkin.
Thank you, Big Daddy. Hi, John.
Hello.
Sorry about the
All
technical difficulties.
We are good. Take it away.
You want me to take it away?
You're up. We got you.
You're up, kiddo.
You're full screen.
All right. I just have to pull up my notes. Hold on one second. All right. So we're talking about, I wasn't going to talk about AI today, but we're talking about AI today. It's just something I've been super passionate about, and I can go on and on and on about it forever. As a solo op, I do everything myself, and I'm sick of doing everything myself. So I just figured, as soon as AI started with just ChatGPT, I right away just started using it, no fear. I know a lot of people are a little bit nervous about it, either taking away creativity or there's a lot of things that could possibly go wrong with it. I can tell right away when somebody's stuff is written by AI. So for me, I'm trying to use it to my advantage to stand out from everybody else. So that's why I really got into how to talk to my AI and how to use it to my advantage. advantage. So I took some branding courses. I spent a lot of money on a rebrand, just not only my logo, but also my website. And I feel really good about it right now. So it's something I used to do myself, but I hired all that out. And I know a lot of people are wondering how they can get a really inexpensive logo through AI, or should they hire an artist? And that's a dilemma some people are having right now, because it does come down to, creativity at hand, and artists and their jobs, kind of like us. Our jobs are possibly at stake too. Like, what if somebody just always hired a Spotify playlist or AI to do the job? So there is a dilemma between hiring real artists and using AI. So some of us have smaller budgets than others. So I found a way to do both. So I found a website called Looka, and that is one that I use to brand my podcast, which kind of had a back burner because I have so many ideas right now. Me and AI spend so much time together. So the secret's out of the bag. There's a podcast where I let the cat out of the bag in Vegas when I talked to Ben Herman. I've been writing some books, and the books are not written with AI, but I am able to use AI to generate creative language within my branding or expand on ideas. So it's like an endless brain that I can constantly talk to. It never gets sick of me asking it questions. So I've tried ChatGPT. I have tried the paid version. So I personally use the pro version. And then I add the extension, which is AIPRM, which I cannot recommend enough. That is where you tap into all of these different categories of working on your branding or your business or your whatever it is that you're feeling creative about. That might not even be DJ related. I've used it to make me an itinerary for when I went to Hawaii. But there's so much you can do with it musically, to build your playlist, to help you. There's ways I've used it to help me by curating a playlist that was family friendly and Latin music, which I'm not super familiar with when it comes to content. I also wanted clean versions. So ChatGPT helped me create exactly what I needed. Now, I know that crate hackers exist. I know that I can go to Spotify. But also, I just like to see what the capabilities are. So I've dug into it for everything that it offers. The drop-down menu in the AI PRM extension is insane. But if I bring myself back to Looka, which is Looka, that is the website I went to create my logo for my podcast. But what that is not only an AI-generated logo, but it's also a whole entire I don't even know, like a treasure trove of social media generated images for your podcast once you create your logo. So if you need something sized for Facebook, for Instagram, for YouTube, no matter what, they give you like themes that you can go and pick through. So all of your images and content is cohesive. It just makes it so easy. So between the large language models like Claude and ChatGPT, I've used Looka for logo generation. I have used AI in video to create myself commercials, which I can personalize with my pictures and images. Videos and images. And then I can also put in my own script, which I can then lay down my own voiceover. I can lay down personally chosen music. Like, the possibilities are endless. So I've really dipped into how to level up my content, because I know everybody's using Canva. And I put a lot of people onto poster my wall for really amazing flyers and graphic designs, because I'm not a gatekeeper. I really feel like as a community, the more we share with each other, the better we look, the more expensive we look, the more money we can make together. So I'm trying to use everything I can so that when people go to my social media or my website, they can see that I've spent a lot of time curating a brand. And that's something that I really love about naming my business Royal Beats, is that there's a really cool vision in my brain of all of the branding that goes into it. And then I've learned how to incorporate this vision in my head of the visual branding with the language. And then I tie all of this in, and let's bring up CRMs, which is how I've been using AI to level up my automation. So that's something that's really exciting for me. I feel like a lot of my stuff that goes out is talking directly to my customer. We're talking about the Royal Beats experience. I've got my personal signature at the bottom. It feels good. It doesn't feel generic, because while I've used AI to help me, I didn't have it do all of the work for me. Prompting is huge. I've spent, hours and hours, and I honestly weeks, 1 week especially, with like 4 hours per day of me diving into AI webinars and other stuff that people are putting out, because I was just like, how do I know everything? And I still don't know everything, but I'm not going to stop learning. And I do feel so excited about all of this that I'm happy to teach my peers what I'm doing, and how, if you're doing everything yourself, that like these are just some really quick and exciting hacks. So gone into ChatGPT and Claude, and I've seen the difference between how their languages output. I've changed the tones, I've changed like exactly how I want it to speak to me, and I've copied and pasted that into my 50 or so automations in my Simple system. And so now, with the new website, with the new logo, with the new branding, with the new language I've come up with, and all of these things that help me elevate my business, I do a lot less selling, and I get a lot less. I got a lot more people saying, "Are you available for this date?" My pricing is available on my website. I honestly need to jack my rates up quite a bit, but I know it's hard for some of us to do that, because I feel like I've done that quite a bit over the years. So I'm struggling to bring it up a tiny bit more, but I know I'm worth it. Big Daddy just said I was at a wedding, and just to close it up, it's really exciting to see not only how your branding, once you start getting into all of this, is leveled up, but also your skills by attending other weddings. I learned a ton, so I'm going to be putting out a big, huge blog about all of the things that I noticed that Royal Beats does differently than a Las Vegas wedding. And also, somebody called me recently to maybe do another karaoke night for them, but I said, how about if we use your rooftop to do like a Las Vegas themed night, so I can because I think the excitement of going to Vegas and bringing it back to somewhere like Connecticut, that's a niche. Not everybody even knows what Vegas nightlife is like. So if you're using your time to travel to these DJ conferences, bring what you learned back with you and elevate your experiences with your clients. I can imagine going to the Omnia, seeing the lights drop down, and everybody whips out their cameras. So what can we do to elevate our lighting? What are we learning from these conferences outside of the seminars, which are amazing? But make your way out to the nightlife, see the DJs, see how the crowd is reacting to those DJs, and then make that part of your vibe if you feel like that's you. Because I'm so excited to have been to Vegas so many times, to have been able to pitch that idea of a Vegas style rooftop nightclub party that I get to DJ here in like Hartford. So I believe in the power of DJ conferences. I believe in the power of DJ news and podcasts and stuff like this, where we get to share what we know and our enthusiasm to just help our peers. I'm so excited. I hope this has helped somebody out there.
So Stephanie, as you were talking about that, I was thinking about using prompts and how to create that Vegas rooftop experience. Literally, with a little tweaking of prompts, you could probably get some really good ideas from the ChatGPT world on how to do just that, because of their incredible tools that they have there.
So I'll tell you what I did the other night, which is most DJs will never confess this, but I went to several places in Vegas this week, and not only did I Spotify a lot of songs that I just felt like, wow, this could be so cool in Connecticut. And this was before I even knew of the nightclub idea, like bringing the Vegas vibe to the rooftop. I started Shazamming stuff. And so I started kind of curating that playlist so that I can go into even like virtual DJ, and I'll use Genius DJ and I'll see what comes up. And then I like to go through that and see what I like, see what I don't like, and then kind of like personalize it. And then also ask AI to incorporate what they think I've forgotten, or maybe something that would make the vibe like maybe like more international.
Sure.
Because how about like mixing Vegas with Ibiza, you know, and then asking AI to create this international nightclub vibe that's like rooftop, mind-blowing, whatever. I can see the potential in using it for so many things. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's why I'm so passionate.
And I think one of the things that kind of almost flashes back to when I was in the elementary school and I was a teacher, and one of the things we said with the kids is that there's no dumb questions. Ask a question. If you're wondering about it, there's probably 3 or 4 other kids in the room here who are wondering the same thing. Ask the question. And I think that with AI, there's no dumb questions. There just might be questions more effective for getting what you're looking for. But you can literally so many things and asks or prompts or however you want to refer to it as such a, even if we know, Big Daddy knows all the ways to be able to close his parties, he could go and he can talk to and say, hey, AI, give me some new ideas to close a party. And it's going to throw stuff out there. Some's good. Some might be bad. Some he'll be like, yeah, I've done that one. Boy, they said the same thing I did. Whatever. There's just always, it's another opportunity to take some work off your plate and to learn and to become more effective.
Well, the big thing also, as far as that is concerned, closing a party, whatever, learn from a whole bunch of people. That's wonderful. But everything you learn, you make it your own.
Yes.
You have to do it your way because they're going to know if they're doing it somebody else's way. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I've seen lots of things that I wouldn't personally be comfortable doing, but I can appreciate other DJs doing it. So, yeah, I could go on, but I don't want to hold you up. I know.
Steph, you take a couple of notes from that and you make it your own. Doesn't have to be the exact same thing. You may not like it, but there's a couple of things in there like, oh my heck, maybe that'll work for me. But again, below you is all the ways to get a hold of you. This lady has renamed her. She has just redone everything, and I love watching it. I love watching the future for you. I thank you very, very much, my friends. Stephanie Rivkin, as we close out Monday night of 2 nights in a row. Stephanie, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you,
Steph. We'll see you soon.
All right, love you, Big Daddy. Bye, John.
Love you too, have a great night.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye.